Hello guys, today we're going to be climbing up the Old Baldy Lighthouse on Bald Head Island. So, it's going to take a few little bit, so let's get to it. Hello guys, we're back. We're climbing up the lighthouse. As you can tell, we are out of breath. So, if y'all can see down there, that's the chapel down there. Then over here, over this direction, we have, we got the harbor with the barge leading, and if you can see all the way out there, the ferries going out.
Clearing.
We've got some more people coming up in the lighthouse, so we got East Beach up there and South Beach down there.
Alright, what's that over there?
There's a whole bunch of ones. Then there's Southport over there. Then if you can see those little white flashes, that Horn Road and a break, that is Oak Island.
Yep.
So
What's this?
that is the big marsh. Very big marsh.
And Tidal Creek, right?
Yeah, in Tidal Creek.
Alright. We'll see him at the bottom.
Alright, see you out the bottom. Hey guys, that's it. Long trip. Alright, see you at the bottom.
Well, I was just gonna tell you, I'm gonna get a head start.
If y'all ever do visit this island, be
That's what all these
careful
young
coming
folks
down the
that
stairs of
me
Old
coming
Baldy.
that day.
Hello guys, welcome back to another segment of the Bald Head Island trip. So today I'm here with Travis from Bald Head Island. So Travis, what is your title here on Bald Head, and what do you do on this Bald Head Island lighthouse facility?
You got it. So my title is the Director of Philanthropy, which means that I'm in charge of ensuring that there's enough fundraising coming in the door to keep Old Baldy preserved and open as a historic site. And then what do I do? I mean, we do everything from asking for donations to you can engrave a brick with your name on it around the old house as a fundraiser. To make sure that every Brunswick County fourth grader comes on a field trip over here. We have a big soup cook-off around the holidays. And then we do a duck race in the summer where you adopt a duck for $10, and whoever's duck crosses the finish line in the creek first wins $500. So those are kind of our big fundraisers each year. All those proceeds help keep this place open.
Very cool.
So, how did you get interested in history and like preserving the Bald Head and stuff?
How did I get interested in history? I get that question a lot, and I always disappoint because I can't really remember. It's one of those things where I've always liked history. I always have this kind of, have you ever had like one of the first memories you have? Can you picture, like, I have one of those, I'm standing on my dad's shoulders watching like a reenactment, I think it was, and they definitely had red coats on them. But when I talk to my dad about that, he has no recollection of me being about that age and going to a reenactment. But if we're counting on his memory, I think, yeah, right? Sorry, Dad. So it stems from something like that. I also had a grandfather that took me to battlefields when I was about your age or younger, so I think it just kind of cultivated a love of history there. Yeah. And why? How did I get interested here? Well, I was working at the Historical Society in Wilmington, and I came to Old Baldy's 200th anniversary, and I met the team here, and I was like, this is a really cool place. And I just started following them on Facebook and their YouTube channel, and next thing you know, there was a job opening.
So, what is your favorite time period? Like, 19, like, I don't know, I know there's a lot of pirate history.
Yeah.
What's your favorite?
Is Pirates your favorite time period? I had a hunch. I had a hunch. I think my favorite time period is probably like right before the Civil War. You know, there's all these benevolent organizations getting started. There's a huge advancement in people's right to vote. You know, previous to kind of this era, you had to have a certain amount of property in order to vote. But in this area, it's kind of like all white men can vote. So we haven't gotten to where we need to go yet. But there's a huge increase in suffrage, you know, the right to vote. And that just kind of adds all kinds of flavors and conversations and dialogues and passions to this American experiment, and I think that's a really interesting time period to explore. And it's kind of the time period when Old Baldy's going to be built and first started to operate as a lighthouse. A lot of our light keepers were your age into their teenage years in that time period. Like Sonny Dozier here, he was born in like the 1840s. So he grew up in that era, and I just think it's fascinating because the era you grew up in has a huge effect on how you are as an adult, if that makes sense.
So why did you choose Bald Head Island particularly?
Well, the ocean is very healing and soothing for me. I'm always just calm around the water. So it combines something that I really like personally with fascinating stories, because we're only talking about an island that's 3.5 miles long, and the amount of history that has happened in those just 3.5 miles is extraordinary. And it's all because this river acts like a magnet and the cape acts like a repellent. And it's, again, a magnet, a positive and a negative force, and all that tension and all that energy in between those two opposite forces creates this passionate and dramatic story that you just can't help but be attracted to.
So, I know there is a whole bunch of pirate history here, so... So, do you have a favorite pirate?
What's your favorite pirate?
I don't know. Steve Bonnet, Blackbeard, probably.
Yeah, Steve Bonnet is probably mine, just because every other pirate has such a linear story. You know, they are running from the law, or they don't like authority and they become pirates. But Steve Bonnet is just that $1 million question that no one's going to be able to answer. Why on earth would this man that had all the privilege in the world decide to forsake that and go out in the high seas and become a pirate and ultimately be hanged for it? It's just, doesn't it puzzle you, like, why this guy decided that?
I know. I mean, like, why would he leave a life of luxury to just go on the seas?
Especially considering he really didn't know the first thing about the high seas or being a pirate, right? It'd be different if he like went on to do something like that he was good at. He wasn't really good at this. So I think Steve Bonnet, he's a complex person, and the best history is the history that's open-ended, right? There's no wrong answer. You just kind of, it allows everyone to influence the story and tell the story in their own fashion, because the characters are so complex. There's no right or wrong answer. It's whatever you think.
So is there anything else you'd like to say to the viewers or us? Or...
Come to Old Baldy Lighthouse.
Yes. Woo-hoo.
Yeah, we're open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. You can climb the whole way to the top and experience this wonderful history on Bald Head Island.
I tell you, the view up there is pretty daggone good.
You can't beat it, right?
No, you can't.
Hey man, it's been a pleasure getting to know you. Thank you.
Alright, see y'all guys later. Check out oldbaldy.org for more information.